So in the introduction lecture, we discussed what basically R is. So let's wrap it up for our next lecture. R is a programming language that is used for the statistical analysis, graphic representation, and reporting. So what R can do? We can use R for the statistical data analysis, genetic and genomic analysis, microarray next generation sequencing analysis, and visualization. R has excellent graphing capabilities. It has a built-in system. It is powerful and easy to learn syntax and many built-in statistical functions. Basically, we don't have to write any code. We can just use some brain and get the code as well. So let's move to the R section. So search the comprehensive R archive network on Chrome or any other favorite browser. So let's enter that and now open this. After opening, let's move to the R section and choosing any operating system depends on you're working with. If you're working with Debian, Fedora or Ubuntu, you can download for your Linux operating system. If you're using Mac, you can also use for Mac to download, and if you're using Windows just like me, so you can just download for Windows. So here you can see you can download the binaries for base distribution. This is what you want to install or for the first time. So they are saying you can use it for the base model. So just click on base and you can download R in your operating system. So just use the base and then move on to download R for Windows. Just click here, download R for Windows, and then just click here and it's a 79 megabytes file. I'm just gonna close it. So once the R is installed and downloaded in your operating system, then let's just search for R language. I can say what I already installed it a year or two ago. So you can just download the R in your latest version. So let me just find if we can find the R language R here. So yeah, that's not possible right now because I've installed R a year or two ago. So for example, if you have installed R, the R will be in your current working directory or something like that. So what you have to do is you have to install the R Studio, which is the graphical user interface for your R operating system. So for that, just search for R Studio, and it is an integrative development environment for your R programming language. So just search for that and then open the first link that is appear here. So you can use R Studio to develop your Shiny apps. You can use this to develop your databases and then link those apps with your databases and stuff like that. So you have to just download any R Studio that you want. So there are a lot of that available here. You can use for anything that you want. If you want to work with Python and R, you can go for their 1.4 version. If you want to use simply an R Studio app, so you can use. So here you can see R Studio. Yeah, that's I think yes. So using these links, you can download your R Studio and install it. So let me just click on this download button and go to downloads. So there will be 4 types of R Studio that will be available to you if you want to work with your company and if you want to use it as a standalone application. So if you're working with the Windows 10 or 11, you can download this exe file. For Mac, for Ubuntu, and if you're using Fedora or OpenSUI, you can use these files. So I'm going to download this R Studio 2023 version, which is now available. Just click on it and it will automatically start in download. So after that, you have to install your R Studio and it will be appear in your programming function. So R Studio. Here you can see there is an app installed and a lot of files are already running in your app studio. So let me just take you to the environment in which you will be working with. So using the RStudio, it is easier to interact. It is a easy interface and it has a easier way to use R because R is free and open source and it has integrative environment as well. So using the RStudio server, the program is run locally as your desktop application. So search for RStudio that I have told you. You have to use the RStudio desktop free version. If you want to use their server, you can also get it for free. But if you want to use their workbench, you have to pay for that. So RStudio layout consists of 4 parts: console, source editor, environment, and plots. So let me just show you. Here you can see the screen that is currently appearing here. So there is an app running by my name which I have developed for my university project of the last year. It is a, I think so it is Shiny app for the, yes, it's a bioarray explorer which is used for metadata analysis of genomics. So let's show you the 4 parts that I was discussing here. So here is the console that is written here. You use this console to navigate the functions that are already listed. So here is a listing of the app that we recently ran, and then there is a source editor. If you are currently coding or you ever code, there is a section where you write code is called or source editor. There is an environment section where the values are being run, that is being used, and how much memory R is taking right now. And there's a plot section. Here you can see there is a plot of it's called I think so volcano plot for the genes distribution of normalized counts. So that was these 4 parts. So the console window in RStudio is on the bottom left, is where you show the results of your command. And then there is source editor which is located on the top corner, and then there is environment which uses the data frames, arrays and function, and then you have plot where you can see the values. So let's talk about the data types that we are going to use in R. So there are 3 types of 3 data types that you use mainly in R. First of all is numeric variables like 35, 34, 33, 32. And then there is character variables like your name, your role, your name, your father's name and things like that. And then there is logical variables like true, false, yes or no. You can consider them as X and Y as well. So then you have to use data frames. Data frames are matrix-like structures that you have to generate to get a certain type of result. Like I'm going to create a data frame of class which contain the BS and MS and PhD student. So student has a roll number of 50, 20 and 10. You can also run this code if you want to. So setting up variables, there is no need to declare any variables in R. You just have to initialize the variable used by using the assignment operator and then assign the each value in the same variable as you like. Like if you want to operate this, you have to just assign your operator and then go for the 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 in your numeric variable. So you have to use using the vector. You have to use the variables using a vector. A vector can contain either a number or string or biological value, but not a mixture. And this means that if you have to use a numeric variable, you're just going to use the numeric values. There are no logical values in that. And then you move on to packages. What are packages? So R consists of a core and a package. R contain functions that are not available in the core system. For example, bioconductor code, which I already talked about in my first video, is that contain several dozen packages for R that contain the annotation of packages for bioinformatics, genomics, metagenomics, metabolomics, and your single cell sequencing as well. So for installing the packages, that is for the another video that we are going to do. So that's it. That was the main installation package thing of R. It is mainly easy to set up. You just have to download R and then R Studio, and then we are going to work with this. So thank you so much.